Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
Another perfect night for baseball in downtown Minneapolis as the Twins and White Sox resume their three-game series at Target Field. The Twins took the series opener last night 13-2. They remain 3.5 back of the Royals in the AL Central, still in the top 5 in the American League, while the White Sox are at the bottom looking up 11 games out. With Roy Smalley, I'm Anthony LaPanta. The last couple of games have been exciting in the development of Byron Buxton. Had just 2 hits coming into the series finale against the Cubs on Sunday, but then picked up his first home hit, and last night followed it up with a 3-hit game from the leadoff spot.
Yeah, for some reason it seemed like that first home hit was a big deal. Last performance in front of his parents before they went home, got a fastball and just ripped it in the left and stole second and went to third on the overthrow, and that really seemed to ignite him. He hit a double that for everybody else is just a single to lead off the game. Finished with 2 more hits at just a blazing speed down the line, and then a base hit to right field. And what a throw here. He takes a short hop, has himself totally under control, and throws out the runner at home. Then a real heads-up play to get a runner trying to take an extra base in last night's game. So all of a sudden it seemed like a big sigh of relief, and then here comes all that talent on full display in all aspects of it, just burgeoning out of him.
3 hits, 2 assists, a big part of the Twins' 13-2 win last night. They try to make it 2 in a row over the Sox behind Mike Pelfrey. He'll go up against Jeff Samardzija in the second game of the series. Minnesota's won 7 of the last 8 against the Sox. We'll break down the pitching matchup next.
By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
By Ram. Come discover great deals during the Ram Drive and Discover event. And by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Twins hope to have more fun at Target Field, hoping to make it 2 in a row over the Chicago White Sox. Scoring runs has not been a problem for the Twins against Chicago, and they hope to have enough to pick up a win and a series win in Game 2 here this evening. And a beautiful night it is at Target Field. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven for Game 2 with the Chicago White Sox, and the Twins doing very well against Chicago. It's easy to forget that Chicago actually won the first couple of games of the season series, but last night in evidence the fact that the Twins have no problem scoring runs and hitting home runs.
Boy, the Twins needed a game like last night. You know, they were really struggling offensively. The starting pitch has been good, but it started in the 4th inning with Joe Mauer in a 2-1 ball game, Sox favor. That tied the game at 1 apiece. Well, later that inning it was Eduardo Nunez, second deck, his second home run of the year. A big 3-run home run by Kenny Vargas kind of put the game away, and then a little icing on the cake off the bat of Brian Dozier, his 14th home run of the year. So good to see last night the power of the Twins.
Coming into the season, there was a lot of hope on the south side of Chicago, particularly in the pitching department. They thought they had a left-handed ace in Chris Sale and a right-handed ace in Jeff Samardzija, and the season's been very uneven for the right-hander.
Yeah, they say that Samardzija's had a tough time throwing that slider over. Now, he did pitch a good ball game against the Twins. His biggest problem this year has been the first inning. In that ball game right there, the Twins got 2 runs in the first, but then he shut the door. 9 strikeouts. That's a season high for Samardzija.
Mike Pelfrey will go for the Minnesota Twins, and he's had a couple of starts against the White Sox, including one he'd like to forget, but he did pitch very well in his last start against the Cardinals.
Boy, did he ever. Now, the Twins won this game 2-1. Pelfrey, for the second time in 3 starts, went 8 innings, only allowed 1 home run, not a home run to Jason Hayward. Other than that, outstanding.
So far, a 4-2 mark on this 8-game homestand. The Twins would like to make it one of the better homestands of the year with a win here tonight. And a lot of the responsibility for that will fall on the right arm of Mike Pelfrey. Target field hit. There it is. Buxton with a sharp single to left. That should loosen the column. Byron Buxton in the leadoff spot. Paul Molitor said this would be just a one-game experiment. Buxton to right center field. Down for a hit. And he's got a double.
If that ball was a single, folks, I don't think anybody else in the league is going to get a double on that.
Buxton will come around and score. So far, this new lineup looks pretty good. And here comes his throw all the way through to the plate. And Buxton threw him out.
I'm just glad Mahler had that much faith in me to put me in the leadoff spot and just went out there and relaxed and have fun.
And Byron Buxton kind of stole the show last night. I mean, they had a lot of help in the lineup. The Twins scored a lot of runs. They got a enough pitched ball game to pick up a win. And Buxton's out in center field. He is, however, not leading off. We'll talk about that when the Twins come off the field and hit in the bottom of the inning. Adam Eaton is the leadoff man for Chicago, and he's in the box. We're ready to go.
And Mike Pelfrey making his third start this season against the White Sox.
First pitch slash to left. And Eaton's aboard with a leadoff single. The Sox had a very disappointing game last night and an encouraging start on the first pitch. A base hit for Eaton, the Menards batting order. He is followed by Avisail, Garcia, Jose Abreu, Adam LaRoche, Melky Cabrera. I'm getting my Ramirez's and Cabrera's mixed up. Alexei Ramirez, Connor Gillespie, not Dizzy Gillespie, Giovanni Soto, and Carlos Sanchez.
I said Mike Pelfrey making his 14th start of the year, his third against the White Sox.
Swing and a miss by Garcia.
Got 2 no decisions in his first 2 starts. He made his first start this season as a Twin back in April against Jeff Zamarza and ended up getting a no decision. And Mike Pelfrey in his last start, we'll go into that one a little bit. He lost his control a little bit.
Liner to right, and Hunter with a diving catch in right. Torrey Hunter with a fine play for the first out of the first inning.
Great concentration right there by Torrey Hunter. You always are told to be ready once that game starts. Torrey went directly toward the ball and then caught it off his left side. Makes a nice tumble and the catch.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Rosario, Buxton, Hunter the outfielders. Plouffe at third, Nunez at short, Dozier at second, Mauer at first, and Suzuki behind the plate. The White Sox in attack mode against Mike Pelfrey. They've swung at his first 3 pitches, and here's Jose Abreu. Chopper to first, foul. So 4 pitches and 4 strikes, or 4 swings anyway.
Oh, Torrey Hunter, watch him right there at the top of your screen. Good concentration, comes charging in, stays with it, makes a nice catch. 9-time Gold Glove winner, Torrey Hunter, out in right field.
1 strike. And another swing. 0-2.
The White Sox have been struggling, and maybe the game plan here against Mike Pelfrey, wherever it is, swing hard. I thought Tommy Malone did a good job against Abreu in yesterday's ball game, pitching him hard inside. Now Pelfrey with a good fastball, a lot better fastball than Tommy Malone as far as velocity. Good control, split finger, slider.
And a ground ball, single to right, a base hit. Eaton around second. He's on his way to third. Hunter's throw comes through to Plouffe, but Abreu stays at first. Pelfrey has thrown 6 pitches, and the White Sox have swung at all 6, and they have a pair of singles.
Well, Abreu a good hitter. He doesn't try to pull that ball. It's a ball down in the strike zone. Not a bad pitch, but Abreu just hits it the other way.
Eaton at third, Abreu at first, 1 away, and this is not the guy, LaRoche, that Pelfrey wants to see with 2 men on base.
You see the numbers right there, 11 for 16, a home run.
5 walks. So he's faced LaRoche 21 times and only gotten him out 5 times. Change up, lifted foul, 1 strike. Well, given how Pelfrey pitched and what happened to him the last time he pitched against the White Sox, you wouldn't think Chicago would be coming out in attack mode. Rather, you'd think they'd see if Pelfrey could even throw it over the plate, because It was one of the weirdest games of his major league career when the Twins gave him a big lead and he couldn't get through the 4th inning.
Yeah, Twins had just put 7 on the board in the bottom of the 3rd. Then he came out and hit 3 batters in 1 inning, had a walk, ended up leaving the ball game. And there's the first take of the ball game. Fastball in.
1-1.
He kind of upset me that game because he hit 3 batters in 1 inning. That tied my record.
Well, records are made to be broken,
Yeah,
or at least tied.
At least tied, yeah.
1-1. And LaRoche fouls another one back, and I don't think there's any question that he would have broken your record had the Twins not gone out and got him. It was weird because he had 3 good innings and then just lost it.
Lost it, yeah.
Twins followed up with a 4-run 4th, so there was plenty of run support for Pelfrey to pick up another win.
Now, he's had 16 double plays behind him. He and Kyle Gibson leading the majors in that department. See if he can get that split finger down, maybe get a ground ball. And he left that up right there.
Change up and away.
That's the splitter.
2-2.
Pelfrey only 37 strikeouts in 79 innings pitched. Another splitter.
2-2.
Get on top of it.
Drifts outside. Now it's a full count. Pelfrey's troubles in that 4th inning started with a walk to LaRoche. Speaking of the game back in early May. And now he's in danger of walking him here to fill the bases early. Melky Cabrera on deck. Full count to LaRoche. And he lost him. Threw him another changeup. That's very much a field pitch. And early on, at least, Pelfrey doesn't appear to have a real good feel for it.
It looks like he tried to aim that ball rather than let it go.
Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. And during this homestand where the Twins have won the 2 games with St. Louis, 1 over the Cubs, and the first one last night of this series. The record is 3-1 because the pitching has been very, very good from the starters.
Only 8 runs earned, runs allowed in the 6 games.
Cabrera fouls it back. Cabrera doing much better from the left side of the plate than the right side of the plate, but overall a profound disappointment for the White Sox. Hit cleanup yesterday, now 5th, in a big spot early on for a team that's been struggling to score runs. On the outside corner, and it's 0-2. There you see the splits for Cabrera. Much better as a left-handed batter. Struck him out with a changeup. He missed 3 times in a row to LaRoche and threw a good one to strike out Cabrera.
Yeah, look on LaRoche. He was trying to aim it. Right here, he lets it go. You see the arm come through and then the good movement down. So a big strikeout for Mike Pelfrey.
And now Ramirez. A lot's happened here. 5 plate appearances have been completed. He's only thrown 15 pitches. See if Ramirez, who is an aggressive hitter by nature, tries to strike early against Pelfrey. Taken low, ball 1. Ramirez actually drew a walk last night.
Only his 8th walk of the year in 255 plate appearances. Yeah, good numbers against Pelfrey. A lot of the White Sox are good numbers against Pelfrey.
Chopper to third, foul. 1-1.
Pelfrey making his 8th career start against the White Sox. He is 0-3 with a 6.62 earned run average.
It's odd. Trevor May, who's of course trying to get acclimated to being a major league starting pitcher. He's faced the White Sox 4 times, and he's 4-0 against Chicago. 1-1. Pelfrey trying to pitch his way out of a pickle in the first. Down and away, 2-1.
Not a bad pitch, that number 3 right there, but it's called a ball.
On the ground to short. Nunez flips to second, inning over. White Sox load the bases against Pelfrey, and he leaves them loaded in a scoreless first inning. A couple of big outs early in the ball game. We'll see if the Twins can do again tonight what they've done a really good job of against the White Sox and in this homestand too, scoring early. Brian Dozier back in the leadoff spot in the Menards batting order. He'll be followed by Eddie Rosario, Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe, Torrey Hunter, Eduardo Nunez, Kurt Suzuki, Kenny Vargas, and Byron Buxton.
And Jeff Samardzija on the mound, making his 15th start, his 3rd against the Twins. He has 1 win, one of his 4 wins coming against the Twins, but he has struggled early. 18 of his 53 runs he's given up this year have been given up in the first inning.
And Dozier swings and misses. Brian dropped down to the 2nd spot in the batting order behind Byron Buxton last night. Off the plate, 1-1.
Samardzija with a good fastball, very good splitter. They say it's his slider that he's had trouble with. You can see him grab that splitter, almost the same thing Mike Pelfrey does. Gets set to throw it and then change it if he's not going to throw it.
Tailing fastball inside, 2-1. Remarkable to think that, first of all, Brian's played now in 70 of the 71 games that the Twins have played this year. On the ground, couple of hops picked up by Sanchez, 1 down, and Dozier's on a pace to hit 35 home runs this year. 1 down. White Sox out in the field have had some issues. Melky Cabrera is in left. Adam Eaton is in center. Avisail Garcia in right. Gillespie and Ramirez left side of the infield. Sanchez, LaRoche the right side. The White Sox putting the better fielding first baseman LaRoche in there and DHing Abreu tonight, and Soto back behind the plate.
Yeah, in last night's ball game, the White Sox had 3 errors that kind of, especially 2 in that 5-run 4th inning, that kind of opened the door for the Twins to take that big lead.
Here's Rosario. First pitch fouled back. Costly error by Alexei Ramirez that opened the door for the big inning. Talking with Robin Ventura before the game today, and he was talking about Eduardo Escobar, who did such a good job, just a steady, just makes a normal play. And then Robin said, you know, last night I would have taken normal, meaning a tailor-made double play ball was instead thrown into right field. Fouled back 1-2. Rosario having a very solid rookie season, even though he did not start the year with the big league club. That's hit to right field and deep. Going back is Garcia. That ball is gone. A home run. Eddie Rosario with his 4th of the year.
I got to be honest with you, when that ball left the bat, I thought it was just a fly ball to right field, but it just shows the strength that he has. Almost like his lower part of his body had already committed, and then he used all his arm. Just reached out.
With a short stroke,
right?
No follow through at all.
And strong enough to hit it out.
We've seen him do that now. He's got 4 home runs, 2 of them to the opposite field here at Target Field, and 2 of them to right field. And the first one that went to right field went up into the second deck. Another first inning run against Samardzija, another first inning run for the Twins.
Home run measured at 397 feet.
Lauer takes at the knees, 1-1. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Joe had a big home run last night. One of 4 that the Twins hit. 1-2.
His home run led off the 4th inning.
Grounder right side and through for a base hit. Oh, 1-out single, and Mauer with a big turn with Garcia taking a little time. Actually, that's not fair. He went after the ball hard, but no right fielder is playing in right field anymore for Joe.
Wow, nobody. Yeah, it took him a while to get there, but you don't want to run on Garcia. He has 9 outfield assists. That's the most in the major leagues.
Look where Garcia is playing, though.
Yeah, the ball hit between first and second, so Garcia has to get over there, hustle, and then gets to the ball, but a good turn around of first base by Joe.
Here's Plouffe inside, nearly to the backstop. Twins have had pitchers that had a tough time in the first inning. Most recently, Brad Radke had a terrible time in the very first inning, and then he would, more often than not, settle down after that. And that's kind of been Samardzija's pattern this year.
Like I mentioned, his last start against the Twins, he gave up 2, but go back to his second start of the year, came against the Twins. He was the opening day starter for the White Sox. He went against Mike Pelfrey. He had a 1-2-3 first inning, but then the Twins scored 4 in the second.
And then the door slammed right after that.
Right.
1-1, and a ground ball toward the left side, bobbled by Ramirez. Mauer will round second and hold up there. Ramirez had a tough play. Had he fielded it, he didn't. I'm guessing Plouffe will get a base hit.
I think what he tried to do was what we have seen Brian Dozier do: dive for the ball, come up, and flip it to second. But you can see he never got to that ball. They do give Plouffe an infield base hit.
And now Torrey Hunter. Torrey with a big double last night, drove in a couple of runs. He and Trevor Plouffe each have 38 runs batted in. Joe Mauer with 37, Brian Dozier with 35. Check swing, ball 1. There are some who think that Samardzija's days are numbered on the south side of Chicago. White Sox got him with 1 year left on his deal. He's a free agent after this year. And unless things immediately and dramatically turn around for the White Sox, they're likely going to be in sell mode here pretty soon. Off the plate, 2-0.
Kind of what the Cubs did when they traded him to the Oakland A's and then traded over to the White Sox. Spent 7 years with the Cubs. And Oakland traded him over to Chicago over the winter.
There's a double play grounder. And this one's turned by the White Sox, and that ends the inning. But an Eddie Rosario home run puts the Twins on the board early.
Kurt Suzuki had a rather entertaining trip to the mailbox today. He received his Major League Baseball lifetime pass. So did Mike Pelfrey. So did Phil Hughes. They are presented to players after 8 years of full-time Major League service. They are in appreciation of long and meritorious service. Quote from Major League Baseball. Suzuki showed us his card today. It's gold. And he said he had never seen one before. Never been with a player on a team that had one that he knew of. And he said it was a pretty cool keepsake that not a lot of guys will be able to flash something like that in their wallet. And then Dick and Bert, he told me it's not just gold plated, it's straight gold, and that he would sell it to me for $1 million. I think he might have been stretching the truth there. Bert, do you have one of these, an MLB lifetime pass?
Yeah, you know what, Marty, thank you. When I was with the Twins first time around in the early 70s, Phil Roof was basically my catcher, but I remember when Phil got his, and it was like 8 years. Oh my goodness, you know, Phil had been around, and I thought, oh, I'll never get one of those. And finally I did, but boy, I mean, I have that at home down in Florida. I have yet to use it, but
well, I thank you for saying that, because it says right on there, for in your case, Bert Blyleven and a guest, you can get into any ballpark, you get 2 tickets to any game, and you've never once, after 21 years now of working with you, never once invited me as a guest to utilize your gold pass.
They must have added the guest on there over the years, because mine only said my name.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I remember in working.
I got out of that, didn't I?
Harmon showed me his years ago, and it's a nice thing, you know. It's a nice.
Well, you think about it, 8 years of you know, to be in the big leagues is a long time.
And you lasted what,
22?
So yours is platinum, I suppose, right?
Yeah, they should give me, you know, maybe like 1.5 more.
Bauer fields it, and Pelfrey covers, and the leadoff man is retired here in the second.
Yeah, better start to this inning for Pelfrey. You needed 19 pitches in that first inning to get out of that jam.
1 down, and now Giovanni Soto. There, I believe that's the ultimate pass that you can get, right? The 8 year. There is not something for 10, 15, or 20 years.
That's it. And I remember when Phil Roof got his, I just thought, my goodness, you are a veteran. I mean, that's a long time.
Well, and you know, I've been at this a long time, and it's far less publicized, but there is a gold pass for broadcasters too, and I can take a guest with me to any regional sports network in the country for a tour.
Now that pass, you can't like use it for the World Series or postseason.
Oh, you can't.
It's just regular
Okay.
season
All
games,
right.
and if the ballpark's sold out, of course, you have a tough time getting in.
2-1 to Giovanni Soto. Carlos Sanchez will follow next.
So when I'm on my break, I'm going to be going down to Fort Myers to watch a miracle, and I'll bring my pass with me and see if I can get in there.
It's a major league only thing, I believe.
So I have to pay again?
3-1 to the Chicago catcher. And up high, second walk issued by Mike Pelfrey. Number 9 batter Carlos Sanchez will hit next. Our lows never stop improving. And Mike Pelfrey's healthy this year, and he's gone through a bit of a renaissance. Very good numbers with an ERA of under 3.
Well, again, he went through the Tommy John surgery back in 2012, and then last year, you know, he had that injury again, had another surgery, but he's healthy now.
And
he's worked very hard to get where he's at today.
And there is a fastball at the knees, a strike. Sanchez, the latest second baseman to be given a shot for the White Sox. Micah Johnson had some defensive issues and was sent down. Very speedy runner. Sanchez has made the plays for the most part, but he's not hitting much. Double play grounder. It comes up for Nunez. They get one. Safe at first. Got the lead runner, the main runner, to get 2 down.
Yeah, the ball took a little bit of a bigger hop. I think that Nunez thought right at the end. He did knock it down. They did get the force out. You see, he came up a little bit higher than he anticipated. Bare hands it, flips it to Dozier, and then a quick throw over to Mauer, but Sanchez stays out of the double play.
And now Adam Eaton hit the first pitch of the ball game to left field for a single. Ended up at third base. Pelfrey left the bases full in the first without allowing a run. Another one hit to the same spot. Sanchez will hold up at second base. So Eaton has seen 2 pitches from Pelfrey and singled on them both. Garcia will hit next. You can fill out your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at twinsbaseball.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. You can vote up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com. According to the latest balloting released yesterday, 7 Kansas City Royals will be elected to the 9 positions. Garcia up with 2 men aboard and 2 out. Chopper left side, and Plouffe scoops and fires, and the White Sox leave 2 more aboard in the second. Take a bike ride on the famous 42-mile paved Root River State Bike Trail. The southeastern Minnesota trail winds along 300-foot towering limestone bluffs, dense hardwood forests, quaint small towns. For more unique travel ideas, visit exploreminnesota.com. Share and tag your Minnesota experiences with #OnlyInMN. It's down by Lanesboro, Wayland, Peterson, Rushford, and Houston. Eduardo Nunez will lead off the second for the Twins. He'll be followed by Kurt Suzuki and Kenny Vargas. Nunez takes a strike. Twins leading 1-0 on an Eduardo Rosario home run in the first inning. A couple of singles followed, but then Samardzija got a double play grounder. This ball popped up near third base. Across the line is Gillespie. One down. That'll bring up Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki catching tonight. Pretty good bet that Chris Herman will catch tomorrow, and the Twins have to face left-hander Chris Sale. Phil Hughes going for the Twins in the series finale tomorrow. We are not televising.
Even though Sale is on a roll, the Twins have had some good luck against Chris Sale this year.
Suzuki takes down and away, ball one.
And the roll for Sale is a strikeout. 6 straight games he has struck out 10 or more batters.
One and 0. And a high strike called, 1-1. Big pop up, short center. Ramirez out. And he makes the catch out number 2. Kenny Vargas with another long home run in last night's game. In fact, he is hit a couple of tape measure shots in this homestand.
Yeah, this one coming in against the St. Louis Cardinals. That was 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. That won the game for the Twins 2-1. And then in yesterday's ball game, as a right-handed hitter, see how fast that ball left his bat. Measured at 425 feet on the second deck.
You figure that Danks might have thrown at 90 miles per hour and it left the bat at 112 miles per hour. So if you can generate an additional 22 miles per hour, you reverse the momentum of the ball and then add 22. That's strong.
That's squishing the ball.
Vargas takes one up around the hands, 1-1. You know, if somebody throws 95 and then you add 22, well, then it leaves it. Come on, do the math. 95 plus 22.
That's hard.
Come on.
117.
There you go. That wasn't so hard.
I had my calculator out. That helped.
1-2 to Vargas. A 4-hit game that has brought his average up to 248, which is 1 point less than the team batting average. 2-2.
Well, I think the next 2 guys, Buxton on deck and Vargas. You know, Vargas 4 hits last night. They needed that. They're young and they've been struggling. You know.
Pop up to short right. Sanchez, the second baseman, calls for it. 3 big pop-ups and a 1-2-3 second. When we come back, we'll be talking with Milt Newton, the GM of the Timberwolves, about the draft tomorrow. a home run in the first inning, putting the first runs on the board. It's the Timberwolves draft party tomorrow at Thursday at Target Center, 25th, starting at 5:30. Join in the draft excitement with complete coverage of the Timberwolves' first overall pick. Watch the draft on the main scoreboard. Enjoy interactive games, special prize giveaways throughout the night, and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on upcoming events for details. Strike one to Jose Abreu, and we're happy to have Milt Newton with us to talk about the draft on Thursday. And it has to be a wonderful, and I know you're new to the organization, but it's got to be a wonderful feeling for everybody else who's been with the franchise for such a long time to have that first overall pick for a change.
Yes, it's really good when you have the number one pick because you pick first.
Right.
And I think it kind of does away a little bit with the saying that the franchise is cursed.
Right,
so we got the number one pick now, so we'll try our best to not mess it up.
Well, given the fact that here's a ground ball left side, Plouffe has it, that you have the number one overall pick, I'm giving you this opportunity to break the news. Go ahead and just tell everybody who the Timberwolves are going to draft on Thursday.
We're going to draft a very good player. A very, very good player.
All right. Well, what can you tell us about Karl Anthony Towns?
Versatile, defensive, shot blocker, runs the floor, handles the ball, does a lot of things, can play inside and outside. When he was in Kentucky, they played him in the post, but he definitely can play on the perimeter.
And the next batter is Adam LaRose.
Milt, I got to ask you because, the Timberwolves, it's been frustrating over the last 4 or 5 years watching them grow. Okay, now you get the number one pick. You feel that this is whoever you get is going to fit in nicely and then hopefully better things to come.
Yes, I believe that. And I believe in the last 2 drafts we've done relatively well. Rookie of the year. We have 4 players that played in the rookie-sophomore game. And I think we're heading in the right direction with this additional draft pick being the number one pick. We anticipate drafting a player that will add to our core and help us continue to move the organization forward.
When does the season start?
The season starts after training camp.
Okay. And where is the training camp?
Well, right now we have a brand new facility, $29 million. We're probably going to split it up a little bit here and then go back down to Mankato. Because, we've done that in the past in Mankato, and probably go back down to Mankato for a few days.
You've got Okafor from Duke, who is going to be up there someplace. How deep is this draft? Is this a top-heavy draft, would you say, or is it pretty deep down through the first couple rounds?
Well, there's only 2 rounds, but it's pretty deep. I would say to about maybe 15.
Okay.
But the depth of the draft is I think there's a player for everyone. If you're drafting 18 or 19, I'm pretty sure there's a player for you as well.
2-2 to LaRoche. And a called third strike. Not only did Pelfrey get LaRoche, he struck him out.
Yeah, a guy that we showed the numbers, 11 for 16 against Pelfrey. He walked him in that first inning, but then painted the inner part of the plate, and Pelfrey picks up his second strikeout.
Melky Cabrera will bat next. Take a look at strike 3, that fastball that tails over the inside corner.
Look at Suzuki right there. Sit and hold it.
You a baseball guy, Milt? Did you play at all?
Actually, I played a little bit in high school. Played for Lenny Farello, who did a little time with the Marlins.
Okay.
And it was just a bunch of inner city kids playing baseball after basketball season was over.
Okay.
Now
did
you
a little
played
pitching.
Pro basketball.
No, I played over in Europe.
Oh, you did?
Played over in Europe. Yes.
And when you played baseball, what position?
I pitched and played left field.
Oh, you did? Okay. He contends because he's a Hall of Fame pitcher.
I'm looking at his hands. He could throw a heck of a split finger.
Milt, thank you very much, and I'm sorry you didn't take advantage of the opportunity to tip your hand as to who you're going to draft on Thursday.
We'll let you guys know on Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck to him.
third for the Twins. They lead 1-0. Buxton with 3 hits, 2 assists in the outfield. A very impressive throw from the outfield at a key part of the game early when the White Sox scored a couple of runs and were looking for more.
They made a perfect throw to Suzuki to get Cabrera at home plate.
Paul Molitor said before the game last night that it was maybe just a 1-game thing, and true to his word, he put Buxton back in the 9th spot. And he takes strike 1. Buxton, Dozier, and Rosario in the Twins' third. The handle of the bat foul, 2 strikes. Median deep center field on the fly.
Yeah, this coming in the 3rd inning. White Sox already had scored a couple runs to take a 2-1 lead. And that throw right on the mark. Quick tag by Suzuki. Cabrera is thrown out.
And Buxton on a pitch down and in, strikes out on 3 pitches. 1 down, and now 5 in a row, set down by Samardzija. Back to the top of the order.
Yeah, Samardzija picking up his first strikeout. Good sinker, down and in.
Dozier hit a ground ball to second his first time up.
And that's what Paul Molitor was talking about. You know, against the lefty, John Danks, he felt that Buxton would have better at-bats rather than maybe against a right-hander who spins the ball a lot. And that's exactly what Samardzija does.
Gets ahead of Dozier, 1 strike. And talking of Dozier today, Paul Molitor spoke of Dozier's vector. I've never heard a manager use that term before. The vector that Dozier has down the left field line.
You got me. Go ahead.
Well, it's just a range, a scope, a range where the ball tends to travel, whether it's a double or a home run. It's generally right down the line. And he said every once in a while Brian will hit one out by the bullpen, but he's got a vector down the left field line. This one headed back over our heads.
And that was over my head. Now, does that basically mean that sometimes he gets pull happy?
Yes, and he said if you could just adjust that vector a little bit,
now
that he'd have 40 home runs.
Well, I'm thinking a guy on the couch that says, what the heck is he talking about?
And an off-speed pitch strikes out Dozier, 2 down. And it'll bring up Rosario.
Samardzija picking up his 2nd straight strikeout.
Soup.com trivia: who is the only player to play in the All-Star game for both the Twins and the White Sox? The only one I can think of. I'll ponder it a little bit more, but I don't think this is that tough. And Rosario takes ball 1. Rosario just seemed to flick his wrists at an off-speed pitch and still dropped it over the wall in right field for a home run. Talking about Rosario's rookie season, there isn't anybody that's really jumped out and become a favorite for Rookie of the Year award. We're getting toward the end of June. Devin Travis of the Blue Jays has been hurt, just ready to come back to the lineup here pretty soon. 1 and 2. Joey Butler of the Tampa Bay Rays is off to a good start.
Yeah, they have a pitcher. Is it Carnes that's pitching pretty good?
Yeah. 1 and 2.
Tampa Bay probably the surprise team of the American League.
Look at this easy, almost half swing.
I say it looked like, you know, he just kind of reached out for it. Ball still traveled 390 plus feet. His 4th home run of the year.
Steven Souza of the Rays leading the rookie class with 14 home runs and 31 runs batted in, but he's hitting in the 220s. Foul tip. The bat's still alive. Up high. I guess for fans too, the most impressive thing about Rosario is how consistent he's been. The average has been in the 270 to 280 range. It may get there for Buxton and it may get there for Vargas, but that they would have done it inconsistently. So far, Rosario's just outside 3-2.
Good eye at the plate right there. Good take.
If he has an 0 for one night, he comes back with 2 hits the next, so there hasn't been much fluctuation.
Yeah, 6 minor league seasons for Rosario, about a 295 hitter, so he's kind of taken that average up here with him. He's been steady everywhere he's been in the Twins system.
Called third strike with Samardzija clipping the corner, and Rosario thought it was ball 4. 7 in a row set down by the Sharks. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. 3 scoreless innings for Mike Pelfrey so far. He'll face Alexei Ramirez leading off the 4th, and there's a pitch taken away, ball 1.
A couple walks for Pelfrey, 3 strikeouts. He's given up 3 hits, all singles, 2 of them to Adam Eaton leading off the game.
And a strike. Ramirez hit a 2-hopper to the backhand side of Nunez, and Nunez made the play. The White Sox left the bases full in the first. They left 2 more on in the second. Pelfrey had a 1-2-3 third. 1-1. The White Sox shortstop. And a strike taken. Twins coming into the game with a team ERA of 3.82. That's 7th in the American League. And Pelfrey with an ERA right now of 2.87. Hook foul, which would leave him just off the top 10 in the American League for earned run average leaders.
Yeah, that outing in Texas kind of set him back a little bit, where he gave up 8 runs in 3 2/3 innings. But the bottom line is the Twins have won 9 of the 13 games he has started so far. He's looking for his 6th win of the year here tonight.
Splitter misses down and away, 2-2. There have just been a few starts that Mike would like to have back. Maybe even his first one against the White Sox on April 11th. 4 earned runs, couple of home runs in 5 innings. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ramirez strikes out, and now Pelfrey has 3 strikeouts in a row. And Mike's been very affable throughout his tenure with the Twins. Agreed to do an interview with us.
He put some thought into it. He was asked before the ball game, so what does he do? Beekeeper's hat. And he continued to get peppered with seeds.
Trevor May enjoyed it in the background.
Kyle Gibson.
Now, some of it is winning. It's a lot more fun to win than it is to lose. But there's no question that there is a much different personality to this Twins team. Home games, they win a ball game. They've got a dance fest in the clubhouse before the media is allowed in. Outside, 1-1.
Torrey Hunter kind of brought that over. A little disco dancing with some fog, I guess. We were told. We're also told that Tom Bernanski is a terrible dancer.
Outside 2-1 to
I only say that because Marnie had interviewed Kyle Gibson prior to the game, and who was a better dancer? Would it be Tom Bernanski or Eddie Guardado? And Gibson pretty much said that Tom Bernanski kind of embarrassed himself in there.
Really?
Move his shoulder, a little hip, that's it.
That's to left, chased by Rosario toward the line. That ball lands and bounces into the seats for a ground rule double. Hit the warning track and it bounced up into the seats sideways. Rosario couldn't quite flag it down.
Gibson just taking that, Gillespie taking that pitch the other way. Had some movement on it, but the ball kept slicing away from Rosario. Hits the turf for a ground rule double. For Gillespie, his 10th double of the year, 4th hit for the Sox.
Now Soto. Outside, ball 1. White Sox have a lot of trouble spots that they need to get resolved before they're going to be competitive. And one of them is behind the plate. Soto hitting .216, Flowers hitting .204. One 1-0 from Pelfrey. Doink to right. It's a base hit. Hunter charges. Gillespie around third. They're going to wave him in. Here's Hunter's throw. It's cut off by Mauer and a low throw to second. And they still get Soto, who tied the game with a base hit. And now Mauer and Suzuki look at one another because it looked like Hunter's throw was on line, but Joe cut it off anyway.
Yeah, Gillespie kind of held up at second base and then took off. So Torrey came in, made a good throw. I don't know if Suzuki's screaming at him to cut it right here. He's kind of seeing that if that ball comes through, would there be a play? But Soto was tagged out at second base. Soto picks up the RBI. And the game is tied at 1 apiece.
Base is empty, 2 down for the number 9 bat. Ball 1. Sanchez reached on a fielder's choice his first time up, hitting a ground ball to Nunez. Bunt, strike. And out in front, tapper foul, 1-2.
Sanchez just 22 years old, 6 seasons in the minor leagues for the White Sox, a career .285 hitter. Came up a little bit last year, played in 28 ball games, hit .250. Switch hitting second baseman.
Inside, and Sanchez buckled.
That fastball did not come back like we saw when he struck out LaRoche. That was a good 4-seam fastball inside.
Now up and away, it's 3-2.
Just getting underneath that splitter a little bit. That's what he said he was doing in Texas. Just didn't have any feel for it.
Full count with 2 gone. For 9 batter in the box, and a chopper over Pelfrey to Dozier. That ends the inning. The White Sox get an RBI single from Soto to tie the game. Joined by Roy Smalley as the Twins hope to get the run back that the White Sox got in the top of the 4th inning. And Roy, Tom Bernanski's done a great job with a lot of young, inexperienced hitters and some of the veteran hitters like Mauer as well. But you had a chance to spend some time in the cage with him today.
We had so much fun. I tell you, I wanted to talk with Bruno about his philosophy about hitting, how he works with different guys' unique attributes and weaknesses. And then have him show me some drills that he does to get at what he's wanting each player to do. It was really, really fun.
Are there fundamentals for, that he can say 1 through 13 hitters or 12 hitters, or is they all individual?
Well, they're all individual.
Ground ball to second. Mauer retired, 1 away.
They're all individual, and he'd be the first one to tell you he needs to work with each unique guy. But there are certain things that he thinks, however you get there, every hitter's got to do it. And one of the main things for Tom is the power position of your legs, being really, really strong with your legs and getting into the right position.
So it's a foundation.
He calls it toes to nose. He starts at the feet and works his way up. Helps guys get into the right position so that they, with their legs, so they can use their hands more freely. And he actually got me into some of those. And I can't, with this old body, I can't call it much of a power position anymore.
Well, it's good to see him still walking.
1-0 to Plouffe with 1 gone in the 4th. And now a strike.
You look at Trevor Plouffe. I mean, he's a guy that has power, but he has an unusual type of setup to get ready for that pitch home.
What's interesting, everybody has a funny kind of setup, or a different kind of setup than everybody else, but it's all about when your front foot lands, what kind of position are you in, and that's what Bruno's main focus is. Some guys pick up their front leg, a la Kirby Puckett, a la Kenny Vargas. Trevor too a little.
Well, watch where he puts his hands. They almost curl right there.
Right, but you see his front foot. He'll pick it up, and then it really depends on how and when he gets it, how he gets that foot down.
Well, let's go to the batting cage. Tom Bernanski and Roy Smalley talking about the power position.
Now we're going to rotate our lower half into a strong spot when the swing is over. All right. So is that pretty strong to you, Roy? Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, nope, you need to get this here.
All the way there?
All the way rotate.
Okay.
All right, see now this one's going to get here. Now you feel the legs burning, don't you?
Yeah.
Already.
I don't like it already.
So then you put your hands where you're going to go. Now I want you to rock back into your backside and fire. Close that front foot up. That's what's going to hold the front side in. There you go.
1 for 2.
I hit the second one pretty hard.
Hunter gets hit by a pitch. He'll go to first. It's been a very painful series for Hunter. He had a collision at second base last night. He got hit by a throw at third base, and now he's hit by a pitch.
You know, that's almost what I was watching right there. That's almost how you want to finish a golf swing, too.
Well, exactly right. And I asked Tom, I said, you know, it looks to me like Brian Dozier gets in that power position about as well as anybody. And he agreed. And you look at it right there. So you see his back foot is turned the way Tom wanted me to have.
Right there.
Yep, right there. And you see how strong against the front side he is. That's a powerful spot right there. Back leg driving into the inside of the front leg, closed front foot, as he wanted me to be. That's a great example.
On the outside corner to Nunez.
Tommy, Bruno told me, he said a great story about Brian Dozier. When he had him in the minor leagues, he had seen him play golf, and he said, Dozier, you hit the ball so far, you know, a golf ball. Why? How do you do that? He goes, well, Bruno, he said, I use my legs. I really drive. He goes, well, why don't you do that on the field in the baseball?
Yeah.
And so they've been working on that ever since, and with great result, obviously.
Tapper.
That's trouble. Kid stays fair.
And Samardzija, his only chance was that it might hit the edge of the grass and roll foul.
Yeah, that ball had some spin on it right there, and with Nunez's speed, you're not going to throw him out. It's like a swinging butt. But Samardzija decides to try to get him, and too late. So an infield base hit for Nunez puts runners at first and second.
I'm so glad they had you go to the cage with Tom, because main reason, you know a lot more about hitting than I do, but also if he'd tried to pivot my back foot the way he did yours, my Achilles would have snapped and I'd be in a cast right now.
Well, don't think I wasn't feeling it then and now.
Now the Twins trying to put together a threat here with 2 gone.
You almost saw where that ball landed. That was heading toward the third base line.
Oh, you're right, Bert. He had one play, and that was to pray that it went foul. He had no chance.
Let's see if the Twins can take advantage of it.
Soto giving signs in front of the plate. There's this too. The Twins have not stolen a whole lot of bases this year, but they have stolen 3 on Samardzija and Soto. Twins with just 30 stolen bases on the year, and a 10th of them have been with Samardzija pitching to Soto. There's a chopper foul off the bat of Suzuki. Would seem an unlikely time to send both runners, especially the lead runner with 39-year-old legs. But if Samardzija forgets about him.
Right, Sanchez, the second baseman, that's trying to keep Torrey close to second base.
1 strike to Suzuki.
So with Sanchez over by second base, that leaves a big hole between LaRoche and Sanchez.
Foul back. Just beneath us. Go ahead, say something about the effort. At least I got up.
Well, I saw the rotation of that ball.
Bert and I both knew it was going to be below us.
Yeah, I don't know why you got up.
Excuse me.
And the other thing is, I don't know who you were kidding about sticking your hand out there, but you weren't about to stick your bare hand on that foul ball. Bert, you think? Was there any chance of that?
No, I was already under the table.
Suzuki gets out of the way and fouls.
Well, I've seen you there before.
But that's
never this early at night.
Yeah. Not usually.
2 strikes to Suzuki. They're pretty good at pushing the ball through the right side of the infield, and LaRoche trying to eliminate that from happening.
Let me ask you, Roy, now, you know, Bruno put you through that, but I mean, how many years did you, you had switch hitter both sides of the plate, you had power, you're a great hitter. Did you ever do that? I mean, did you?
No, I was never, you know, we never had drills like that. We never had a hitting coach. I don't think in my era there were too many guys that had specific drills like that. That's what I like about Bruno so much. He showed me 2 or 3 things, and the whole feature is going to be really, really cool to watch.
Was it something as a player if you were playing, you say, wow, I like that.
I wish I had it. Absolutely. Right. It was really good to see. And he said, you know, if I get guys in this power position with their legs, then then they swing. They kind of rock back and swing with their upper body. They feel how hard their legs are working. They know they weren't doing that before, number one. And number two, it frees up their hands to work real hard through the zone. It's a great drill, and he's got a lot of really good ones.
2-2 to Suzuki, and a ball grounded down the line, fair.
Yes.
Hunter will score. Nunez flying around third. They're going to wave him in. Ramirez's throw in time to cut him down. Might be just the second base runner that the Twins have lost at home plate this year. The other being Oswaldo Arcia, but Suzuki with a
great effort right there.
2-out base hit to left. The Twins retake the lead, and our thanks to Roy Smalley.
Roy, thank you.
Yeah, great being with you guys as always.
Fans of the game, look at that. I like that. A guy keeping score. He's just entered a run for the Twins in the bottom of the fourth after the White Sox got one in the top of the inning.
Yeah, that was nice to see. And you know what? That was a gamble right there by Gene Glenn that everything was going to be perfect on the defensive side. And you know, we have seen Chicago. Last night they made some errors. They made an error earlier in the ball game that maybe cost them, but. Hey, took a perfect throw to get him, and Nunez was caught at home.
Eaton hit the first two pitches he saw tonight for base hits. Now he's taken 2 strikes from Pelfrey, leading off the 5th. You might be able to relate to this. I don't have a perfect memory, so I'm going to go from my memory, admittedly imperfect. I think there's only been 2 runners thrown out at the plate, and Oswaldo Arcia was the other one, and Gene Glenn tried to stop him, and Arcia ran through the stop sign.
Yeah.
Back to Pelfrey. Gathers it in. And so the Twins taking a Chicago team that struggled in the field, forcing them to make a play.
Well, watch Kurt Suzuki gets that breaking ball right down that third baseline now. Torrey's going to run or score, but watch him right there. Watch Gene Glenn saying, go, go, go. Of course, you're talking to a guy that has tremendous speed in Nunez, and it took a perfect throw.
And Nunez got rid of his ballast, the batting helmet, long before he got to third base, and still was cut down at the plate. Here's Garcia, and he takes ball 1. Garcia 0 for 2, slashed a line drive to right field, and Torrey Hunter made a nice sprawling catch for the first out of the ball game.
Yeah, he's hit Twins pitching very well this year.
Now Loof has to charge and make the same play he made on him in the second inning, 2 down. Get us to Abreu with the bases empty. You can spend your summer at Target Field to become a Twins season ticket holder with the new Pick 10 plan. You pick 10 games against the opponents that you want to see defeated and save off the box office price. Enjoy sweet spot benefits exclusive to Twins season ticket holders, including 10% off game day food and merchandise at Target Field. You can learn more about package options by visiting twinsbaseball.com/pick10 or by calling 612-33-TWIN.
Yeah, 8 ground ball outs now for Mike Pelfrey.
Here's Abreu. Off the outside corner, ball 1. Twins got an additional run, a second run, thanks largely to a decision the pitcher made on Nunez's chopper. Here's a ball hit into the corner, and Abreu is going to try to hustle for a double. Rosario didn't get much of a carom, and it's a stand-up double with 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, that looked like the split finger changeup. It came in about 81-82, and Abreu just turning on it and hitting it down in that left field corner. His 12th double of the year, his second hit. So just kind of hung right there. And Abreu last year, American League Rookie of the Year. Took advantage of it.
Abreu is at second with 2 gone. And the Pelfrey nemesis, Adam LaRoche, will hit. LaRoche has walked and was called out on strikes. To center, and Buxton ranges over to the gap.
Good pitch inside again.
And Abreu left the board. It's a 2-1 ball game, and Kenny Vargas will lead off the 5th when we come back.
Which also means we're in the Minnesota Lottery Winners Circle, and we have $100 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets. It's an anniversary gift tonight, a 50th anniversary for Faye and Dennis from Grand Rapids, Michigan, who really Grand Rapids, Minnesota. You splurged today with second-row seats behind the dugout. Was a gift, and took a tour today of Target Field. What did you learn today in taking the tour?
I got tired.
That you got tired. Very good. Anything about the ballpark or the team?
I love it. It's just very interesting.
And a nice way to celebrate 50, I would imagine.
Oh, yes.
How about a Twins win to top it off?
That would be great.
Well, Dick Bramer just told me he promises you that. So see him after the game if it doesn't happen, okay?
Wow. All right, Marnie, that'll way to go.
All right.
I like it. Faye did all the talking. That's why they've been married for 50 years. Dennis didn't say anything.
Just nodded.
Yep. In agreement.
Vargas takes one the other way with a base hit.
Well, congratulations. 50 years of anniversary.
3 straight hits for the Twins, the 2 that closed out the 4th, and now a leadoff hit in the 5th. Kenny Vargas is tonight's T-Mobile game changer. Last 5 games, some encouragement, not just a high batting average, but extra base hits and some run production.
Yeah, good for him. He's been working hard. He's such a nice young man. Every time, I'm sure he does the same thing you did, Dick. You come up, he'll say hello,
right?
Want to shake your hand. How are you doing?
Here's Byron Buxton. And of course, with Vargas aboard, some of Buxton's speed is neutralized should he get a base hit. And Buxton takes inside ball one. He struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Coming into the play of today's game, Buxton with some encouragement too, just in regards of getting on base. 6 of the last 12 plate appearances before his strikeout in the 3rd. Outside now 2-0. This is an interesting lineup, and you know Paul is going to continue experiment with it, but you know, having Vargas aboard in front of Buxton is not ideal. There's very little the Twins can do speed wise. You got the fastest guy on the team hitting behind the slowest guy on the team. 2-1.
See Butch Davis right there helping Vargas read the defense.
Side now 3-1. Dozier on deck. Classic case perhaps of Samardzija so worried about Vargas at first that his control is off now.
Well, he'll go to that 2-seamer, I'm sure, down.
And a strike on the outside corner, 3-2. Buxton's taken 5 pitches.
We see where number 5 was, a pitcher's pitch, down and away.
Chopper. And Buxton's retired. Vargas advances to second base. Let's check back in with Marty Gellner.
Guys, before the game, Paul Molitor really had some great praise for Byron Buxton. He said it's something you don't want to miss when he plays. You hear the oohs and the ahs from the fans. He's brought that expectation. He said when he hits a ball in the gap, I'm following him. I'm not looking at the eye. He catches your eye even as a manager. And listen to this description, Dick and Bert. It's constant potential electrifying giftedness. That's what he used to describe Buxton.
Wow.
Dozier takes ball 1.
You know, throughout the summer, and I think we saw it a little bit last year with Santana and Vargas when they came up. Guys that kind of brought some enthusiasm, electricity, if that's what you want to call it. And I think that's what Buxton brings. You know, you go through 162 ball games. From time to time, you need somebody to step up. And there's been so much talk about Buxton, you know, about his potential. Now he's here. So everybody's, you just kind of get energized.
Well, I'm glad to hear that the managers, like I am, when he hits the ball, you're watching the ball hit to left center field off the end of the bat, and coming in as Cabrera for the catch, out number 2. Because I find myself doing that, like in the double yesterday. He hits the ball to right center field, and where it lands almost is incidental. I want to watch the guy run, and so I end up watching the runner, and even on an infield hit, a little chopper to the left side of the infield. It's hard not to watch the speed.
Yeah, this in yesterday's ball game, and you know, you got a shortstop in Ramirez that has an outstanding arm. He couldn't have played it any better. Buxton beat it out.
Baseball skills are rated on a scale of 1 to 8. I asked Terry Ryan before the game today about Buxton, and he said he's an 8. You can't rate anybody as being any faster than what Buxton brings to the Twins lineup. 1-0 to Rosario, a home run to right, and a strikeout in the 3rd. And now a strike, 1-1. Soto setting up inside, and Rosario takes ball 2. I think that's one thing that Paul Molitor is most happy to see regarding Rosario. Improved plate discipline. Not the first nor the last rookie to get a little trigger happy with your swing when you're up there and you expand the strike zone. And foul 2-2.
I don't think what we have seen from Rosario, you don't see the bright eyes. You just see a guy that is just like he knows he belongs here. Very calm demeanor. And can hit.
2-2 to Rosario. Fouled back. Twins with 5 home runs hit in this series already in just a game and a half. 4 last night. Rosario hit one in the first inning today. Bauer hit one last night. 2-2. Hold back. Soto hand delivers a new baseball. Trip to the mound by the Chicago catcher. Went with a run in the first, another in the fourth. Vargas standing at second with 2 down here in the 5th. Chasing, expanding the strike zone. Rosario strikes out. Vargas left at second base. It's still 2-1. Health injury report. Raise your hand if you've had this happen to you. Nelson Cruz left the game last night with a dislocated pelvic bone. And they popped it back into place, and Lloyd McClendon said, I don't know, we'll see whether he can play tonight. Wow. Don't know if he's in the lineup tonight. The Mariners losing to the Royals last night. They'll play game 2 of that series tonight. Melky Cabrera leads off the 6th, and he takes up and away, ball 1.
Oh, just thinking about that sends a chill.
In the West, the Mariners are drifting back. They're just a game and a half ahead of the Athletics now. Had their ace on the hill last night, Felix Hernandez, and he was outpitched by Joe Blanton. Not to bring up Pete Rose, but I've never bet on baseball, and I don't know why anybody would. Who would have thought that Joe Blanton would outpitch Felix Hernandez last night?
And Hernandez pitched okay. I mean, he pitched deep into the ballgame. Blanton went 6 innings, and then, of course, that bullpen for the Royals took over the last 3. But they need to just, they need to score runs.
Just finding out now that Nelson Cruz is DHing tonight for the Mariners. Had a dislocated pelvic bone on Monday night, and he's back in the lineup on Tuesday. 2-2 now to Cabrera. He'll be followed by Ramirez and Gillespie. That's past a diving Mauer and into the corner. Hunter will retrieve it, and Cabrera digging for second. Torrey having some problems with it, and he underhands it to Dozier, and that's the only thing that kept Cabrera from trying for third base. So it's a leadoff double in the sixth.
Well, quick hands right there by Cabrera. You got a pitch and kind of golfed it down that first baseline. Joe Mauer dove for it. It got into the corner. See where that pitch was, about shin high. Torrey has to fight that wall in the corner. Cabrera thought about it right here. Right there, just trying to get that ball back in quickly.
That's what third base coaches will look for. A quick flip back to the infield. There doesn't even have to be much on it sometimes, just to discourage the runner from trying to take the extra base. Here's Ramirez. Inside, ball one. Ramirez will look at an infield that's playing deep up the middle, but Mauer and Plouffe are playing at their corners, or even with their bases at the corners. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. Pelfrey's had 1-2-3 inning. The White Sox have had a man in scoring position in every other inning, including now quickly here in the sixth with the leadoff double. Bouncer to short. Nunez sets, looks the runner back, one away.
That's not a good at bat by Ramirez. He's having a frustrating year, hitting at only .226. But when you have a team, and we talked about it a little bit, maybe about a week ago, Dick, if you're having a tough time scoring runs, these guys almost have to give themselves up. And Ramirez right there, he's always been pull happy, but that's not a good at bat right there. That keeps Cabrera at second base.
Put it under the category of situational hitting, and
right.
Sometimes the situation might not necessarily call for a hit. Of course you'd like to get one, but you've got to do what you can to make sure that you at least advance the runner.
Get your hit up the middle or the other way.
There's Gillespie. He doubled and scored his last time up. Fouled back. Detroit has jumped all over Cleveland, putting together a 6-run inning in the fifth against Danny Salazar. The Tigers continue to pound the Indians in Cleveland.
I guarantee you Miguel Cabrera was part of that. He has destroyed Indian pitching this year. But he's right now leading the American League in hitting at .350. So he's getting warmed up.
To the right side. Mauer probably would have been playing back had the runner Cabrera advanced to third. The run might have scored. Instead, Cabrera only goes to third. 2 down. Join Fox Sports North at the next viewing party Thursday, July 2nd, beginning at 6:30 p.m. at Park Tavern in St. Louis Park. We'll be in Kansas City for the 4-game series with the Royals, but you can enjoy food and drink specials. Register for tickets and prizes and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. 2 down, runner at third. Here's Soto. Drove in the first Chicago run with a single to right. And Pelfrey, seeing Cabrera dance off third base, just steps off the rubber.
And that's what you have to do sometimes, with a runner at third. You saw Cabrera come down. You have to show that you can step off with that right foot.
Pelfrey going to the full windup. Check swing strike. Remember when Jeremy Guthrie of the Royals went from the full windup. Torrey Hunter was at third, and Torrey tried to steal home, and something unusual happened.
He sped up his delivery.
Paul Molitor still claims that there was a balk on the play. Torrey was thrown out on the play. 1 strike. And now 2 strikes. Now, were you a wind-up guy in
I was a wind-up guy with 2 outs, and a lot of times what I would do is exactly what Mike Pelfrey did. I would put all the weight on my left foot and leave my right foot kind of, loose. That way I can step straight back and show that runner at third base that if he decides to go, I can step off and then hopefully throw home. And I really don't. I thought Guthrie did the right thing. He just shortened his throw toward home.
2 strikes to Soto. Pelfrey trying to cling to that 1-run lead. Off the middle, a base hit on an 0-2 pitch, and Soto has both Chicago runs batted in.
Yeah, we talked about LaRoche good numbers, but Soto has had some good numbers against Mike Pelfrey. That's his 6th hit now in 11 at bats. He had a home run off of Pelfrey in his first start in Chicago, and that ball came running in on Soto, but he opened up, hit it into center field, and the game is tied.
And now Sanchez is 0 for 2.
So Soto knocking in both runs so far against Mike Pelfrey.
Side ball 1. And blew fast for time. He's going to come to the mound. You don't see Trevor do this very often. This is rare. Usually, of course, a catcher will go out there. You just don't see the Twins have their infielders. And Trevor's looking into the Twins dugout. That may have been called by the dugout, saying, hey, just give him a little bit of a breather. But usually it's the catcher who does that. 1-0. 2-0. Do you like it when infielders came to the mound?
I never minded it. Yeah. First of all, I'd say, what are you doing out here? You see me hanging over your position? No, I mean, Trevor came in with a message, whatever that was. Maybe I'm playing back on this guy. This guy, Sanchez been struggling offensively. If he lays that ball down, that's your responsibility down that third baseline. I'm going to play back a little bit on this guy.
Pelfrey falling behind the light hitting Sanchez, the number 9 batter, 3-0. Eaton on deck. And back in the strike zone, 3-1. Chop to the right side. Dozier flips to Mauer, and that takes care of the White Sox in the 6th. They tie it up on a 2-out hit from Giovanni Soto. Presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. White Sox scored to tie the game top of the 4th, and the Twins answered in the bottom of the inning, and now the White Sox have tied it again in the top of the 6th. Giovanni Soto driving in both runs. It'll be Mauer, Plouffe, and Hunter facing Samardzija in the 6th. Mauer takes a strike over the inside corner.
Samardzija with 5 strikeouts in a ball game. 1 hit batsman and no walks.
One strike. And now up high. Tonight I'm watching Joe Mauer. Still has a classic swing. One of the sweetest left-handed swings there could be. And this afternoon, when I got to the booth here, I looked and saw the pitchers taking batting practice. That's,
don't tell me Trevor May was in that.
That's hitting technique whiplash is what that is. 1 and 2. Trevor May's actually going to get 2 games to perfect his swing in National League ballpark. There's a liner right at Sanchez, who makes the catch 1 away. One down. Trevor did not look proficient in St. Louis.
I'm sure he was a good hitter in high school. Sanchez right there kind of fought that ball a little bit, but able to get it in his glove.
Trevor will have a chance to hit a home run at Miller Park, and he'll have a chance to hit a home run in Cincinnati too. Trevor Plouffe taking ball 1. Trevor singled an infield hit in the first off the glove of Ramirez, then he struck out in the 4th. Big swing and a miss, 1-1.
You know, we talked about Soto a little bit last night, having a nice night offensively, but how he drops to his right knee to get that ball back to the pitcher. It's very low.
That's to short left. Cabrera coming in, makes the catch, 2 away. We'll bring up Hunter. With 2 outs in the 4th, Torrey was hit by a pitch, and then Nunez and Suzuki got hits, and the Twins regained the lead. Torrey bounced into a double play his first time up.
He scored 1 of the 2 runs for the Twins.
Drilled to center. Eaten over, and he cuts it off. Torrey will have a single. Torrey hit that ball right on the button. It's a 2-out hit. That'll get Nunez to the plate.
And a good job by Eaton getting over there and keeping Torrey Hunter to a single. So Torrey jumping on that first pitch, getting his first hit for the Twins. They're 7. And Eaton getting over there quickly. That ball maybe scoots by him. It's extra base hits, but Eaton getting it back in.
Nunez has hit a pop-up in foul ground caught by Gillespie. And then in the 4th inning, he hit a chopper up the 3rd baseline. Samardzija tried to pick it up and throw him out. He had no chance to do that. And the ball might have rolled foul if he'd just let it go. Nunez, who's been stinging the ball.
And what made that was Kurt Suzuki ended up hitting the double down the left field line that scored the go-ahead run at the time. That being Torrey Hunter.
Nunez has been stinging the ball more regularly than any other Twins hitter, and he's yet to sting one. Tampa Bay beat Toronto 4-3 in St. Petersburg. One and 0 to Nunez. 2-0.
Nunez hitting a home run in last night's ball game, his 2nd of the year, his 2nd against the White Sox. First one coming off Chris Sale last night off of John Danks.
Fastball on the outside corner. 3-1. Suzuki on deck. Ball 4. Hunter will go to second. Nunez will go to first, and Suzuki will have another chance to deliver a 2-out hit.
And Don Cooper, the pitching coach, coming out. Let's take a look at the last pitch. Nunez, I'm sure, looking away, and that ball came running in on him.
This was a couple games ago. Nunez swung at a pitch similar to that. It was down a little lower, and he got raked across both knuckles. First and second, 2 down. Suzuki hit a double over the third base bag. Hunter scored from second. Nunez tried to score from first, and the White Sox, with a perfect relay, Melky Cabrera to Alexei Ramirez to Giovanni Soto, cut him down. Suzuki can come through again as his counterpart, the White Sox catcher Soto's come up with 2 run-producing hits in the game tonight. Chopper to short, and Ramirez fires across, and that ends the threat. On to the 7th, tied at 2. Scoring 1 run at a time.
Yeah, the Twins scored 1 first, and that was Rosario's home run, his 4th of the year. That came in the 1st inning. The White Sox came back and scored a run. Soto with an RBI single in the 4th inning. Tied the game at 1 apiece, but the Twins came back. They made it a 2-1 ball game. Kurt Suzuki scoring Torrey under with that double down the left field line. Nunez getting thrown out at home. And then Soto with a 2nd RBI of the ball game that scored Cabrera last inning.
Adam Eaton leading off the 7th in a tie game. Off-speed pitch misses the outside corner. It'll be Eaton, Garcia, and Abreu. That pitch number 91 for Pelfrey. Two and 0.
Want to take the bunt away from this guy right here. 3 times this year he has bunt singles. See Trevor in on the grass.
Swinging a foul, 2-1. Another foul tip, 2-2.
Good fastball at 94, and that's one thing we've been able to witness from Pelfrey throughout this year is that velocity. He keeps that velocity deep into the game. High is 96. That splitter at 71, 73.
Chipped foul. Pelfrey is saying, hey, you know, that's the type of guy I should be. I'm big, I'm strong. He should have stamina.
You know, you take away that ugly outing he had in Texas. You take 5 out of his last 6 starts, excluding that Texas start. Pelfrey's 2-1 with a 1 earned run average coming into tonight's game.
Deep but foul.
36 innings, only 4 runs allowed.
It was that start. He had 1 in Detroit, 10 hits and 5 runs in 4 2/3 innings. And then the odd one against the White Sox here when he had a 7-run lead, but just couldn't throw it over the plate. Other than that, he's been very reliable. 2-2 and consistent. Check swing. They'll appeal. And it's ball 3.
Adrian Johnson, the third base umpire, saying he did not go. Tried to go inside.
Good check.
Held up.
2 walks for Pelfrey, 1 in the first inning, 1 in the second inning. Tap to the right side. Mauer backpedals. Pelfrey to the bag. 1 away. Very important man to get out. And Pelfrey got him. 1 down. Now the game will come to a halt here. The best athlete on the team needs a little rest because he had to run there about 60 feet.
Yeah, I'm surprised the outfielders don't come in.
Carsoup.com trivia: who's the only player to play in the All-Star game for both the Twins and White Sox? Yeah, I think so. Isn't it? Jim Cott. Yep. 25 wins. 25 wins for the Twins in 1966, and then he won 2 or 3 times.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, with the White Sox.
Kitty.
A.J. Pierzynski played for the Twins. He was named by the White Sox, but he didn't play in the game. One strike to Garcia. 0 for 3. 0-2 with Pelfrey delivering a running fastball.
Yeah, good running fastball right there. 100 pitches for Pelfrey, the most he's needed in a ball game. Was against the Tigers back in late April. 109.
Outside. Maybe overthrow that one.
Taking a deep breath. I think he knows that this is whatever's left in a tank right here. You go ahead and empty your tank.
1-2 to Garcia. Back to the glove. 2 down. Got a 3-1. Now we got a 1-3, and that'll bring up Abreu with the bases empty. Join us July 7th for Celebrate Diversity Day, presented by Prairie Island Indian Community. The first 10,000 fans get a Twins drawstring backpack courtesy of Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets and get your tickets today. 3 infielders on the left side of the infield for Abreu. Mauer almost equidistant between first and second. Foul, 1 strike. You can see where Joe is, and it does take a first baseman with some mobility to play him that far off the line. One strike.
Suzuki again sitting inside.
And past Mauer and into right field.
Yeah, didn't get it in far enough.
3rd hit of the night for Abreu. A 2-out hit, and that'll bring up LaRoche. Twins have had Aaron Thompson warming up. We'll see if they make a move here. LaRoche has had great numbers against Pelfrey, but Pelfrey has had LaRoche's numbers so far tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk.
Yeah, I think you give him that opportunity right here. It's a 2-2 ball game. A runner at first. Get this final out right here. Twins score a run, get Pelfrey a win.
Dug out by Suzuki. The decision has been made to let Pelfrey go after a guy who came into the game 11 for 16 with 5 walks.
Well, what you don't want to do as a pitcher right here, make a mistake middle in, because LaRoche does have power. If you're going to go in, you make sure you get that ball way in.
1-0 to LaRoche.
Suzuki sitting away, that two-seamer.
2-0. Twins now with 3 infielders on the right side of second base. Season high second highest pitch total for Pelfrey, 106. And now 3-0.
He tried to split finger, I believe, right there.
Pelfrey went 7 innings, threw 109 pitches against the Tigers in late April.
He's got one more chance right here because Cabrera on deck, a switch hitter.
3-0, dangerous pitch. And he shaves the corner.
And you have to do that again. You have to trust that two-seamer right here.
Three and 1. 3-2.
Well, he got it back over the plate, but you can see the location. We showed you on Fox Tracks. That ball was down.
Even with 2 other infielders on the right side, Mauer will play behind the runner Abreu at first.
And I said Cabrera on deck. Of course, they don't want to make him hit left-handed. He's going to hit right-handed. So
might be his last pitch of the night.
Right.
Make it a good one. Fox Tracks presented by Ram, and he missed the outside corner. Abreu to second, LaRoche to first, and Cabrera, the switch hitter, will come up next. Molitor will make his move.
Yeah. And he gave Pelfrey an opportunity to hopefully maybe get a win if he was able to get that final out, but he ended up walking LaRoche for the second time in the game. Well, maybe not. Maybe giving them that opportunity.
Wow.
You know, as a manager, sometimes you have hunches.
How about that?
Yeah, there we go.
When Pelfrey went 8 innings and beating the Brewers here, he said he really appreciated the confidence shown by the manager to let him pitch that extra inning. But this is at another level here. Twins had Thompson warmed up to pitch to LaRoche and opted not to do that. And now they're letting Cabrera hit from his better side against the right-hander Pelfrey.
Mentioned Cabrera's hitting .275 coming into the ball game as a left-hander, 167 as a right-handed hitter. So the challenge is there. I love it.
Side ball 1. Now, to be perfectly honest, if Aaron Thompson had been pitching better, maybe the decision goes the other way, but Aaron has struggled in his own right. Big spot here. White Sox haven't had a lead in the series. Oh, they did early yesterday. Hot ground ball, and it's into center field. Abreu around third. Buxton will have no play except to the middle of the diamond. And the White Sox take the lead on Pelfrey 2 hits and a walk after the second out in the 7th.
Well, he gave him that opportunity, and it didn't pan out, and here comes Paul again.
Cabrera with his second hit of the ball game.
That fastball, you can see Suzuki wanted it away, and it came back over the plate. We're hitting right back up the middle. And with 2 outs, Abreu off and with the crack of the bat, he scores the go-ahead run right now.
Mike Pelfrey leaves having gotten 20 outs, but he trails 3-2. Hits that have produced runs and a 2-out rally here in the 7th that has given them their first lead tonight.
Well, you know what, Dick, I'm going to be honest. This game sometimes is easy to second guess, and I'm sure Paul Molitor after the game will be asked that question, why just stick with Mike Pelfrey? But you know what, I like that move myself. Pelfrey ended up getting beat right there. Now it's up to Casey Fiend, hopefully, to keep it at a 1-run deficit.
Face Ramirez. The arm that could have been brought in, Aaron Thompson, in his last 3 1/3 innings, he's given up 7 earned runs. So it's, again, one of the factors might have been Thompson's relative ineffectiveness compared to how he started the year. Ball 1 to Ramirez.
And Mike Pelfrey's one of your horses, and you've got to trust him and give him that opportunity, and it didn't pan out.
But yeah, now the challenge is for Fiend to keep this a 1-run game.
Fiend has been outstanding. A ground ball that'll get him out of the inning.
And the White Sox take the lead with 2 hits and a walk after the second out. It's 3-2 Chicago.
Telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
The Twins need to come back now with Melky Cabrera putting the White Sox in front. It'll be Kenny Vargas, Byron Buxton, Brian Dozier to face Jeff Samardzija here in the 7th. Samardzija starting the inning with 93 pitches thrown. Strike at the knees. Vargas led off the 5th with an opposite field single. One and one. White Sox with 10 hits, Twins with 7. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. Back, got a pitch up.
That's where Soto wanted that pitch. Fouled it off.
Now off the plate, 2 and 2. Samardzija regularly exceeds 100 pitches, a season high 120 pitches in Oakland in the middle of May. He struck him out. 1 down.
Strikeout number 6. Samardzija.
And now Buxton is 0 for 2. He struck out in the 3rd and tapped out to Gillespie in the 5th.
Stayed with that fastball. That was up in the zone.
Buxton 3 hits last night, got his average up to 200, hoping to get his first hit here tonight. Breaking ball, missing. Ball 1. Solidly to center, and Buxton's aboard with a 1-out single. Just a handful of hits, obviously, but here's a guy who's hit the ball to every field for his hits.
That fastball right there just stayed up, and Buxton hitting it right back up the middle. Twins get their 8th hit. You got Speedy Buxton at first base.
And now the intrigue. An extra base machine in Dozier at the plate. A lot of home runs, a lot of doubles. A base stealing threat at first. Again, the Twins have stolen 3 bases on this battery already this year, and that was without Buxton's blazing speed in the lineup. Gordon Beckham is in at 3rd base. Dozier takes strike 1.
Samardzija does have that high leg kick.
And that, as much as anything else, is what the Twins have exploited.
Right. 8 stolen bases against them so far this year in 10 attempts. Twins have 3 of those 8.
One strike to Dozier. And now 2. It's away from Soto. And Dozier and the Twins would like to invite you to Dozier's Deck this year. Special offer includes Skyline deck seats for the game on Saturday, August 29th, when the Twins take on the Houston Astros, plus a limited edition Brian Dozier Blaze Orange t-shirt. A portion of the proceeds will benefit Pheasants Forever. Take advantage of the offer, available exclusively by logging on to twinsbaseball.com/Dozier Day. 2 strikes to the Twins second baseman, tying run at first, 1 away. Time called by Soto. Still 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts. And Dozier strikes out on a pitch down in the dirt. 2 down.
You don't see Brian Dozier swing at a pitch like that too often. So Marza picks up his 7th strikeout. It's a slider, it looked like.
Robin Ventura to the mound. Rosario has struck out twice against Samardzija, but in his first at bat, Rosario hit a home run into the seats in right. Ventura will leave his starter in, as Paul Molitor did in the top of this inning. Medica's sounds of the game going back to the first inning. That's hit to right field and deep. Going back is Garcia. That ball is gone. A home run. Eddie Rosario with his 4th of the year. Twins have a rookie in the batter's box and a rookie at first base. Rosario with the home run today. 11 extra base hits among his 37 hits. Buxton goes. The pitch hits outside, and Buxton is thrown out at second base. And the Twins tried to steal Buxton into scoring position, and Rosario instead will lead off the 8th inning. It's 3-2 Chicago. The 8th inning.
Yeah, I don't think he got the best of jump, but take a look right here. Buxton taking off, of course, his speed, but a good throw. A little one hop right there to Ramirez, and he makes a quick tag. So credit Soto by making a good, strong throw, and Ramirez putting a quick tag on him.
Connor Gillespie left the ball game. It'll be Gordon Beckham hitting in what was Gillespie's spot. And then it'll be Soto and Sanchez facing Casey Fiend. First pitch fouled over the Twins dugout, 1 strike.
Yeah, Beckham started at third base in last night's ball game, went 1 for 3 with a walk.
Down and away, 1-1. Tapper to third. Plouffe gloves, fires on the run, 1 down. That'll bring us to Giovanni Soto. Soto walked in the second, and then he delivered 2 RBI singles, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. Swing and a miss. 1 hand coming off the bat.
A little slider cutter by Fiend, gets strike 1.
One and one. Two and one. Final game of the series in the homestand tomorrow. Twins are right now 4-2 in this 8-game homestand. Grounded foul between Joe McEwing and the line.
Even though the White Sox have 10 hits, their outs have basically come on the ground. 15 ground ball outs the Twins have been able to get. Pelfrey, he had 13 ground ball outs. Fiend so far 2. Only 2 fly ball outs.
Two and two. Tap to short. Nunez with an easy play. 2 down. And before Sanchez comes to the plate, watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand in True HD with MLB.TV Premium. MLB.TV Premium includes a free At-Bat 15 subscription. Watch live baseball on over 400 mobile and connected devices. You can watch at home, in the office if your boss isn't watching, or on the go. Every night, every device, blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. You ever think about that? I mean, you and I can watch baseball, and it's part of our job.
Pretty lucky.
But if you know you're in the office and you want to watch the Twins or any other baseball game, you got to sneak around your boss.
Well, hopefully your boss is a Twins fan.
Well, it could be.
Maybe you have to buy him a ticket here or there just to get him out of the office so you could watch the game.
2-0 to Sanchez. Down the line. And a fair ball. Sanchez has a fan was had touched the ball. I guess it bounced up near the seating area. And so they will give Sanchez a 2-out double.
Sanchez with his 5th double of the year.
It's not an automatic double. It's not a ground rule double.
That ball stayed up right there. Sanchez pulling it down the line, and the ball bouncing. Yeah, would have went into the stands anyway.
Well, now the White Sox, who've taken the lead on some 2-out hitting, have a 2-out double. Eaton 2 for 4 on the day. Inside, he backs out of the way. Ball 1. got 3 ground ball outs, left to pitch up, paid for it with a Sanchez double. And now a strike on the outside corner. Two and one. Good crowd on hand here again today. I think the Twins got a good walk up tonight. Beautiful night weather-wise.
Just over 27,000, 27,349 to be exact.
I thought it would have been over 30. 2 and 1. And now 3 and 1. Garcia on deck. White Sox with a run in the 4th to tie it at 1, a run in the 6th to tie it at 2, and then the go-ahead run in the 7th. Getting a couple of hits and a walk after the 2nd out. Now a 2-out double here in the 8th. 3 and 1. Tapped to the right side, just wide of the line. 3 and 2. White Sox started the day in last place. They'll finish the day in last place, but if they can win this game, will get a game closer to the Indians, who are losing to the Tigers in Cleveland. Seven to 1, bottom of the 9th. Tigers in front. 3 and 2 to Eaton. And a foul over the White Sox dugout. Another foul. He's thrown a lot of pitches here in this 8th inning.
Yeah, Eaton 2 hits and 7 at-bats against Casey Fiend over the years. Trying to get the final out here.
Another 3-2. Not yet. Popped up near the tarp, and that 2 out of play, just out of the reach of Trevor Plouffe. Battling. His hits came on the first pitch of his first 2 at bats. Fiend trying to put him away. Keep this a 1-run game. Deep to right. Deep to right. Hard off the wall. And Eaton with a great at bat will get into second with an RBI double.
Wow. What a battle right there by Eaton. It was won by Eaton. Casey Fiend kept pumping strikes in there on 3-2. Finally, Eaton caught up to a fastball and lined it. That ball almost went out of the ballpark. That little cutter came right back into the swing of Eaton. And high off the wall. So an RBI double by Eaton, his third hit of the ball game, driving in his 12th run. That's a 4-2 White Sox lead.
Robin Ventura would probably tell you that the White Sox tonight have gotten more 2-out hits than they have the rest of June combined. That's a 4-2 ball game. Swing and a miss by Garcia. 0 for 4 on the day. Made a bid for a hit. Torrey Hunter with a nice diving catch in the first inning. Another cutter gets another swing and a miss. Oh, 0-2 to Garcia. Just off the plate.
That run that White Sox got, that's the first run that Casey Fiend has given up since he was activated back on May 29th.
Flip foul. And not one, but two out doubles drove in the run. Out by Suzuki. A lot of pitches thrown this inning for Fiend. He got the last out of the 7th pretty quickly, but now over 20 pitches thrown this inning.
I believe he's able to retire Ramirez in the 7th on only 2 pitches.
Yeah.
So 25 so far this inning.
2-2. High fly to center. Buxton back to make the catch. The White Sox with more 2-out hitting in the 8th. They've added another run. It's 4-2.
Sports Update. This weekend will be a special one in Wisconsin. That's because Paul Molitor, who went into the Hall of Fame as a Milwaukee Brewer and played 15 seasons with Milwaukee, will return to Miller Park for the first time as a Major League manager. Join us Friday on Fox Sports North, starting at 6:30.
Right now, Paul Molitor hoping his team can do some damage against the Chicago bullpen, with Chicago now leading by 2.
As Mars is out of the ball game, the bullpen. First up is Zach Duke, making his 32nd relief appearance. The only lefty out in that bullpen.
Rosario and Mauer, 2 lefties, will start the 8th inning for the Twins, and then Plouffe. Both Rosario and Mauer hitting left-handers better than right-handers this year.
Yeah, Duke throw that sidearm type of delivery toward home plate.
0-2 quickly to Rosario.
Duke, 32 years old, in his first season with Chicago.
Tap to short, easy play for Ramirez. 1 down. And that'll bring up Mauer. He'll single his first time up, pulling it through the hole on the right side. Then a ground ball to second and a line drive to second. Joe's pulled the ball 3 times against Jeff Samardzija. Twice firmly. The ground ball was hit sharply. The line drive was. And he takes strike 1. Plan, it appears, Duke getting the 8th inning, and then David Robertson would get the 9th, although the White Sox do have another right-hander warming up. 1 strike. Inside a ball. There's a base hit to left. Second hit of the night for Mauer, and that'll get the tying run to the plate. We'll see if Robin Ventura brings in a right-hander to face Trevor Plouffe. He's already out of the dugout.
Yeah, Mauer getting his second hit, just slapping that ball the other way.
Duke asked to pitch to both Rosario and Mauer, and he got one of the 2 out. Duke leaves. And Trevor Plouffe will face Jake Petrichka when we come back. He has 1 for 4 in his career against Faribault native Jake Petrichka.
Got Petrishka coming in, making his 28th relief appearance. He started the season on a disabled list, had some right forearm tendonitis. Activated in the latter part of April, making his 28th relief appearance. He's allowed only one home run. That's what the Twins need right here.
Talked to Jake yesterday, and he said he's 100% healthy. Kind of in spring training early on, games hadn't even started yet. He kind of torqued a pitch and tweaked something in his forearm. They had to pretty much shut him down and then build him back up again, and he's ready to go. Here's Plouffe. Every Twins position player has a hit except Brian Dozier. Joe Mauer has 2 of them. Plouffe got his hit, an infield hit, back in the first inning. Outside. Ooh, strike call. Miller calling it a strike. Trevor doesn't like it. I didn't care for it, but I'm way up here.
Looked outside from here, our point. See what Fox Track says. Oh, that's way outside.
Going out there again, 1-1.
See how much he'll give you. Trishka with a good fastball, slider, and a changeup in his 3rd season with the White Sox.
Fouled back. Got a pitch to drive, and he fouled it back.
I think he knew it.
One and 2. High fly center field. And Eaton with the catch. 2 down. And that'll bring up Torrey Hunter. Torrey bounced into a double play in the first, hit by a pitch. He scored in the 4th, and a 2-out single to center. Cooper to the mound. Bill Miller trying to move things along here.
Well, last time Don Cooper came out, it worked out pretty good for him. Torrey 1 for 4 lifetime against Petrishka. Torrey did something to drive.
At the knees, strike 1. 97 miles per hour for Petrishka. One strike to Hunter. 96, but off the plate. Tapper to short. Ramirez will fire across to end the 8th inning. Petrishka gets the last 2 outs, and the White Sox have a 2-run lead.
lead. And coming up after the game, we will bring you a recap of this one. It's Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll look at how Chicago's starter Jeff Samardzija outdueled Mike Pelfrey. Samardzija went 7 innings. Royce Molina and Anthony LaPanta will show us what made him difficult to hit for Twins hitters tonight. Plus, how the White Sox use small ball to their advantage. 3 of their 4 runs tonight have come on your everyday basic RBI single. We'll also hear from manager Paul Molitor, and all of that will be yours after the game tonight. Tickenberg.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Yes, thank you, Marty.
Aaron Thompson in to pitch to the White Sox, starting with Jose Abreu in the 9th inning.
Yeah, Aaron making his 35th relief appearance. He last worked here on Sunday in the 8-0 loss to Jake Arrieta and the Cubs. He came in the 8th inning. He gave up 3 hits and an intentional walk, and then when he left, Michael Tunkin came in and gave up that grand slam. So not a good outing. He did not get an out. 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned.
First pitch strike to Abreu. Then a left-handed hitter, LaRoche. Strike 2, and then a switch hitter, Cabrera. Abreu again through that big hole in the right side of the infield, gets a base hit. He has 4 hits here tonight. The last 2 have beaten the shift. Hit right where a second baseman would normally be playing.
Yeah, that big hole over there. And second time in 2 at-bats. Mauer playing off the line, but so Abreu a good night at the plate. 13 hits for the White Sox.
As you said, Paul Molitor will be asked why Thompson was not brought in to the game in the 7th inning, having warmed him up with LaRoche facing Mike Pelfrey and then Melky Cabrera facing Pelfrey. And I would imagine somewhere in the answer, whether it's vocalized by Paul or not, is the fact that Thompson simply has not been as effective as he was in April. His last 8 outings, 3 1/3 innings, and 7 earned runs allowed. It wasn't just the 4-run inning that he had his last time out, but he'd been struggling before then.
Well, again, you know what? Sometimes you stay with your workhorse, and that was Mike Pelfrey. You give him that opportunity, and it didn't work out. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
0-2 to LaRoche, and now off the plate.
I think when Paul went out there, I said sometimes managers, they go on hunches. They want to give that starter an opportunity to work out of that jam. He did. And Mike himself would say, you know, he didn't make the right pitch.
And at 2-2. Scalded to right field. Hunter is able to cut it off, going to third, and the throw is going to no man's land in center field. I've never seen Torrey make a throw like that. He spun and threw it to short center field. A run will score because of it. Abreu.
Yeah, he tried to get the ball in very quickly, and maybe he didn't have a good grip on that ball. But Abreu, who set a career high with 4 hit ball games, scores all the way from first base. A fastball after 3 or 4 straight breaking balls. Torrey trying to get that ball in quickly.
And wow. Now the Twins bring the infield in. It's the just the second Twins error in the last 12 games. But it has cost the Twins another run here in the 9th. Abreu would have been held at third with nobody out. And as it is, LaRoche goes to third base on the error, and the run scores. That kicks away from Suzuki, and LaRoche holds at third. White Sox have scored down 4 straight innings. And these are the struggles that Thompson has had. First, a right-handed batter gets a hit, and then he got ahead of LaRoche 0-2, the count even, and then LaRoche got a base hit. Nice catch by Thompson, a busted bat liner. Somebody in the middle infield would have been able to get it, but Thompson with a nice catch, one away.
What a good reaction by Thompson right there. Ball in on a Cabrera. Thompson reaching up. And catching the ball right there for the first out. So got in his kitchen. And there's one out.
And Thompson leaves with one out in the ninth. At least one more run here at the top of the ninth. We are not televising tomorrow, but here's what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. Two best pitchers in the game right now are Max Scherzer in the National League and Chris Sale in the American League. He has been unhittable just about, and yet the Twins tomorrow will try to beat him for the third time. He only has 3 losses, and 2 of those coming at the hands of the Twins. Something I bet he is very well aware of. And he'll face off against Phil Hughes with Ryan Presley entering the game. Twins have the infield in, 1 out here in the ninth.
Ryan making his 23rd relief appearance.
One 1-0 to Alexei Ramirez, who's 0 for 4. This 9th inning rally started with Jose Abreu's 4th hit, his first 4-hit game in his career. 2-0. In front, foul tip, 2-1. And he bends a breaking ball over with Ramirez buckling.
Ryan threw a couple shutout innings on Sunday. That against the Cubs.
Popped up, very short left field. LaRoche doesn't even bluff a tag. 2 down.
I got to be honest with you, it's the worst I have seen Ramirez play against the Twins.
Yeah.
I mean, his numbers show he's just having an off year. He came in a 300 or 315 lifetime hitter against the Twins. Hasn't done much.
0 for 5 tonight. And now Beckham. Second plate appearance for Beckham. entered the game defensively for Gillespie and grounded out to Plouffe in the 8th. Down and away, ball 1. Tigers beat the Indians 7-3. And the only other American League Central team, Kansas City, scoreless in Seattle, bottom of the 3rd inning. Two and 0. The White Sox closer is a good one, a very good one, David Robertson. And he's getting loose, and he'll have at least a 3-run lead here. Two and 0. 2-1. Very disappointing year for the White Sox. They're winless here in Minnesota in 5 tries, but they have the lead in Game 6. 2-2.
Good fastball down and away there by Ryan.
Full count now with Suzuki blocking a pitch in the dirt, keeping LaRoche at 3rd. Single runs for the White Sox in innings 4, 6, 7, 8, and now 9. Popped up, back and out of play. After the game, Justin Verlander scratched from his start tomorrow with mid-back stiffness. Drilled to left, and another big 2-out hit for the White Sox, and it scores. LaRoche from 3rd base, Beckham with a double.
Yeah, breaking ball just kind of hung right there. He tried the 3-2 breaking ball on the prior pitch, and Beckham fouled it off. This one just kind of stayed right in that plane. So it's a 6-2 lead. Yeah, hanger right there.
Both runs charged to Aaron Thompson. Strike on the outside corner. Change what the White Sox do in the bottom of the inning now that it's a 4-run lead. Robertson not warming up anymore. He may be warmed up and come in anyway, or Petrichka might get a chance to pick up the save and face the Twins in the 9th inning. Soto's really hurt the Twins with a couple of big RBI hits. One and two. Petrichka, who got the final 2 outs of the 8th inning. Fouled back.
Good swing by Soto. Soto back in 2008 for the Cubs was a Rookie of the Year in the National League, made the All-Star team. Played for the Cubs, the Rangers, the Oakland A's, and now here in Chicago.
And a fastball over the inside corner ends. Another good inning for the White Sox. They get a couple of runs on 3 hits and now lead by 4. White Sox adding runs every inning at the end of the game, and 2 of them in the ninth, now making it a 4-run lead. It's a save situation for Petrichka, who faced the tying run a couple of times in the 8th inning. He'll face Nunez, Suzuki, and Vargas in the ninth.
Yeah, the White Sox have only 16 saves, and Petrichka has 1 of those. Robertson with 14 of them.
Outside to Nunez. Suzuki, Vargas, Buxton, and then the Twins will need a few more. 2-0. It was a 4-2 game. Petrichka came in with Mauer at first, and he got Plouffe and Hunter. Another tapper to short. And Ramirez throws out Nunez, 1 away. That's keeping Ramirez busy here in the late innings. 1 down, and that'll bring up Suzuki. Suzuki with a big 2-out hit for the Twins in the 4th. It scored 1. Another runner was thrown out at the plate. Twins took a 2-1 lead after the hit and haven't scored since Hunter did score and Nunez was thrown out trying to score. On the outside corner, a strike. There's a chopper over the mound. Backhanded by Sanchez, throws on the run. Good play. LaRoche with a scoop, and Sanchez for the 2nd time in this series finishes a play on the left side of the infield.
Yeah, we saw him make that play, almost identical play in yesterday's game, going to the shortstop side of the bag, and then a little leap up and go across the diamond. The Gold Glove, LaRoche over there to pick it.
And now Vargas, 1 for 3, an opposite field single as a left-handed batter in the 5th. Ball 1. If Vargas can keep the game alive, Buxton would hit. Chopper right side. And the White Sox have even this series at a game apiece. They finally beat the Twins in Minnesota. And a nice moment for Jake Petrichka, the Minnesota native, gets a save at Target Field. The White Sox needed to do well on this road trip, and an embarrassing loss last night for them, Anthony LaPanta, but back in the win column tonight.
And they topple the Twins here at Target Field by a final of 6-2. We'll hear from Paul Molitor. We'll preview tomorrow's series finale. We'll show you how the White Sox stunned the Twins with small ball and break down the pitcher's duel between Samardzija and Pelfrey. All next on Twins Live.